I'm Alexis Cam.
And we're going to be our tour guides for today. We're going to show you a tour of the school, staff, and teachers.
And we hope that through this tour that you feel more comfortable coming to school.
Welcome to our Franklin family.
See you around.
Welcome to Franklin.
This is Mrs. Hassenklick's room. She is the choir teacher.
This is Mr. Hamilton, who's just down the hall, and he's the band teacher. This is Mrs. Keller's room. She's a 6th grade science teacher.
This is Mrs. Boland's room. She teaches typing.
This is Mr. Dewanis' room. He teaches 6th grade English.
And this is Mrs. Lamont's room. She teaches PE. However, sometimes it's outside or in the gym.
So these are all 3 mods. They're outside classrooms, and you can use the stairs back there to get here. This is Mrs. Caper's room. She's an intervention math teacher.
This is Mrs. Horn's room. She teaches history.
Here's the guys' bathroom, and the girls' bathroom is a little ways back. And this is the girls' bathroom. This is the only up staircase. You can only go up.
Follow the arrows.
This is a one-way street.
Yep.
This is the library, where you check out your books, and yeah.
And if you need a Chromebook or a charger for the day, they'll lend it to you.
This is Mr. Wood's room. He teaches English and student leadership. This is Mrs. McIntosh. She teaches math class for 6th grade.
This is the boys' room, the boys' restroom.
This is the little girls' restroom. This is the only downstairs staircase, so if you need to go down, you have to go all the way around and down.
This is the counselor's office. It has all the counselors and Mrs. Rosa. This is Mr. Keller's room. He teaches science.
This is Mrs. Hefner's room. She's also an intervention teacher. Over here, there's no one way. You can go either direction.
This is Mrs. Iverson's room. She teaches math.
This is Mrs. Hicks' room. She teaches math.
And this is both down and upstairs. This is Mr. Campbell's room. He teaches geography. These are the girls' and boys' bathroom
For the middle floor.
for the middle floor, yeah.
Hey, so I'm here to explain lunch. We have the deli line over there, the main line over there, and the fast food line over there. In the main line, there's usually something that you'd have for dinner. Like, for example, today, this was filmed a year ago, there's pork chops and gravy. And in the deli line, there's something like salad or a jelly sandwich. And then the fast food line, there's usually pizza and tater tots and something like that. So, you can also come down and serve, which you just give people the food from behind the counters. And there's the serving station over there. And if you go down 5 minutes before your flex ends, and you serve, you get a free lunch and a cookie, and you still have time to eat. That's what I do. Bye. These are the locker rooms. We have the girls' locker room and the boys' locker room. When you dress down for PE, we also have bathrooms in each one section.
This is Mr. Leo's room. He teaches health.
This is the end of the tour. Up there is just up to the gym. So we hope you had a good time and learned a lot about Franklin.
Thanks.
slight chance that we have lockers, I'm going to show you how to open a locker. So you will turn it 3 times to the right just to mess it up. And then you go to your first number, which my first number is 7. And then you go back around, skip your next number, but then you go back. Once you hit it again, you go to your next number, which is mine 21, and then you go back and go to my next number, which is 47, and it should open. So that's how you open a locker.
This is Mr. Varican again, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our bell schedule and explain to you what a typical day at Franklin will look like from beginning to end. So we have different bell schedules on Monday, or a different bell schedule on Monday. It's called a PLC schedule. Then we have on Tuesday through Friday, which is our regular bell schedule. So on Monday, the school starts at the same time, but on Mondays, at the very beginning of the day, you will go to what we call your TA, which stands for Teacher Advisory. You'll be in there for 11 minutes. It's an opportunity to just touch base with your TA teacher, and just going forward, just so you know, you'll have your same TA teacher for all 3 years that you're here. So as a 6th, 7th, and 8th grader, you'll have the same TA teacher, unless, of course, somebody retires or something like that. But it'll be the same class for most of you. On those Mondays, they're going to check in with you, make sure you're doing okay. They're going to let you know if you have any missing assignments or anything like that during that TA period. And that's from 8:50 to 9:01. And then we run through the same bell schedule as normal the rest of that day. Classes will just be a little bit shorter. Normally they're 59 minutes, and on that day they will be 45 minutes. So, or 44 minutes, I think it comes out to. So that's what Monday will look like. And then on Tuesday through Friday, at the very beginning of the day, when the first bell rings, you will head to first period instead of TA. So you only go to TA on Mondays. Our lunches are a little bit confusing at the beginning for those of you that are new to the school. You'll go to first and second hour, and then flex periods. And then if you have first lunch, you're going to go straight to lunch after flexes. If you have second lunch, which none of you will this first year, then you would go to third hour first, and then after third hour you would go to lunch, and that'll start affecting you next year. So that's just a little bit of the difference between our Monday and Tuesday through Friday bell schedules. Every day, however, the first bell will ring at 8:40. So you can come into the building at 8:40. That gives you 10 minutes before the tardy bell rings at 8:50. At this point in time, I don't know if we're going to have lockers or not. I assume we will, but we'll let you know more about that coming up later when we find out what's happening with COVID. But so you probably will have lockers, but that gives you 10 minutes to get to your locker and get your things for your first hour and head to first hour. If you are eating breakfast, you will come in the door, and you'll learn the building a little bit better later, but you'll come in the door by the hallway where the locker rooms are and go straight into the cafeteria, and you can come in starting at 8:15 to have breakfast. If you're not having breakfast, then you will wait out front until the first bell rings, and can come in at 8:40 before the tardy bell rings at 8:50. And then you must remain in the cafeteria until that first bell rings at 8:40. So that's what a morning looks like. And then once you get on our regular bell schedules, on Mondays or on every day of the week, you will have 4 minutes between classes. So you will, when a bell rings to end class, remember the bell doesn't dismiss you, the teacher does, but the teachers are good about giving you plenty of time. And then you have 4 minutes to get to your locker, get your stuff for your next class. You might want to try to, if you have first and second hour pretty close to each other and it's not close to your locker, you might want to take your stuff for first and second hour and not have to go during passing time each day or each period to get your stuff. It's up to you, whatever works best for you so that you're not tardy, but you have 4 minutes to use the restroom, get your stuff out of your locker, and get to your next class. So that doesn't leave a ton of time for hanging out and socializing in the hallway during passing times, but you'll have time for that during lunches and other things like that. But so it's important that you're on task during passing time, but 4 minutes is more than enough time to get from one class to the next. And then our last bell rings at 3:35. All of our buses, now at the very beginning of the year, sometimes some buses are late, but for the most part, once we get our bugs worked out, the buses are all here ready to get you at the end of the day. So at 3:35, you again have to be on task, go to your locker, get your stuff that you need to do homework and things like that, and then get straight out to the buses. Like I said, the last bell rings at 3:35. The buses pull out of here at about 3:42. So that gives you about 7 minutes to get from your last class ending to getting on your bus ready to go home. So you got to kind of hustle sometimes and not hang out too much at that point. So also during our regular schedule, and we're going to try to start this pretty early, this may be in another part of the video, but I just want to mention it again, that on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, from right at when school ends until 5 o'clock, we will have Franklin After School Academy. So anybody that needs to is welcome to stay for that. Sometimes we'll ask you to stay for that. And then we have various activities as well, sports activities, cross country, early, volleyball, basketball, wrestling, and track at the end of the year that you can stay after to participate in as well. So that's what a typical day looks like with our bell schedule. And I know it's probably sounds kind of confusing just hearing us talk on about it, but you'll pick it up pretty quick, and we are super excited to see you.
Sixth graders, I'm Miss Hale. I'm your assistant principal, and I have a tip for you. Our building here at Franklin sometimes can seem large and confusing to get around, but with this tip, you're going to know exactly where to go. Our building is 3 levels, so 1, 2, 3. On the 3rd level, the very top level, upstairs, the library is there and the counseling center. So those are the main hubs that are upstairs. Every room number on that 3rd floor starts with number 3. So if you have something on your schedule that says room 300, you know you're up on the 3rd floor where the library and counseling center and rooms that are numbered 300 are. The next floor down has the gym and also the main office. So that's the 2nd floor. 2nd floor classrooms are numbered with all 200. So if you have something on your schedule that says room 214, you know you're on the 2nd floor where the gym and the main office are. The bottom floor houses the cafeteria and the locker rooms. All those classrooms begin with 1. So like if you have health downstairs, it'll be room 100. So if you see a 1 on your schedule, you know you're on it kind of looks like the basement, but it's the floor that leads out to the track and the football field. So our building is stacked 3 high, and library, counseling center up top, 300s. Next level, main office and gym, 200s, and then bottom, cafeteria, and the 100s. You'll be able to find where you need to go.